is going to be Orange Esports going up against RSG Philippines. Have a good look at this final hero lineup because the land of Dawn beckons and we are going to be its willing audience.
I just can't wait, honestly. Looking at the drafts, both are solid, both a lot of winning conditions, very multi-dimensional, and let's just get straight into it. Land of Dawn, here we go. We're diving into the portal, and it's RSG up against the hometown Orange Esports.
Looking at the composition so far, Orange Esports, they're really going for something unorthodox. The Lilia looks like it will be in the mid lane after all.
Exactly. Xavier Gold? We've seen this in Indonesia. Onyx, I didn't want to say it because, you know, but Onyx, yeah, they were the ones to actually use the Xavier in the gold lane. It's pretty good, but you need to wait up until you get that ultimate for actual global presence, especially against Beatrix. Kind of tough.
Yeah, it is going to come down a lot to whether or not they actually get that farm, because usually when you play a mage in the gold lane, you want to be able to dominate against the enemy marksman. But by going with a Xavier instead, Orange Esports are matching it up, making use of that gold lane money to actually accelerate Valence's farm instead. And while this does mean that the Xavier might scale up more quickly, it also means that Eman will have a much more comfortable lane.
Oh, the hook there onto Min, but he manages to get away safely with a perfect match. Well, this is exactly why Light on the Franco is so dangerous.
That's a big resource, right? That's a huge resource because look at that. 30 seconds onto the turtle. Min will not have that flicker. Usually you just look for those fatal links plays when you do fight for the first objective. This time though, I feel like, yeah, they're going to go for that bottom side, not really looking for the fight onto the neutral objective, trying to trade it out, but RSG Philippines, they're rotating really well. Light already down.
I don't think they do mind losing out on that flicker too much though, because I'm not sure if Min will actually hit that level in time for the turtle. Sometimes it is a bit of a 50-50 situation, so as long as he keeps himself alive, his presence is going to be a lot more valuable than a play he may or may not make.
Yeah, the two teams now looking to set up something at the turtle here. Unfortunately, Born, the hook there onto Man, grabs him, but unfortunately they are not able to make a play here. Aqua goes in, has to back away here before Min doesn't have the ultimate now, so they're pretty safe, and looks like the RG will go ahead and secure the turtle for themselves.
Yeah, just an easy turtle take. They go for more though. Bloody Hunt pop Born just taken down there by Aqua. That's first blood over to RSG Philippines. Min also forced to back away. No flicker there. So I feel like they made this Kagura a little bit more defensively to peel for that Beatrix. So Helkert going to have a tough time. Even here in the jungle, Nats, just going for it. Under the turret, pops the Vengeance as well. Gary still getting out, but losing his purple buff there.
Yeah, quite scary for Orange Esports. They're already being put on the back foot. They don't have much of a discrepancy in terms of gold right now, but control over the map is going to firmly be in RSGPH's side. You mentioned earlier, the Hellcat obviously not too good here because, as you mentioned, not a lot of heroes to burst down. But even classically, Orange Esports actually like playing this Hellcat purely for the utility of the Dark Knight Falls. They want to blind RSGPH in the late game so that they can burst him down with magic damage and get good fatal links.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess I see it. With the huge burst coming from Man, and well, Gary still has some damage as well as Valence in the later part of the game, but Light again gets a hook onto Iman, the target exactly that he wants. And RSGPH looking to press their advantage here a little, but Orange Esports quick to back away.
At this point, it's very instinctual, right? You look at RSG Philippines, you just think that they know your every move, but sometimes it comes down to that timing, and Man now caught, going to be pinned down, flickers out, RSG disengaged in the fight, but Min flickers forward, brings them back towards Orange Esports, and they collapse. Demonkite caught, the Dawning Light is there, and there you have it. Orange, they are here to play. That's a trade 2-for-1.
This has been the issue against Orange Esports. Purify, purify, purify. But they haven't gotten a single one on their side of the team yet. And I mean, this is, you have to take a lead from the previous games as well. EVO's SG, they made the exact same mistake by not having a single one, and it was this Atlas Fatal Links that caused them all these team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. That is exactly what Orange Esports is looking for in that situation, but they're engaging again.
Yeah, Born caught low. Still has that flicker to get out. Actually, the Purify, as that Dawning Light was used to try to spot him in the enemy jungle. Demon Kite, though, still on that turtle. Orange Esports only with 2 members here trying to contest. Gary will finally pop back in. Demon Kite and Gary battle of the retributions, and it is going to be Demon Kite winning it out. He pins Min down as well. RSG Philippines gets another one on the board. Man just gets locked down there. He's trying to run away, but the Yin Yang overturn, and Nat just diving in will be able to secure that kill. Born takes 1 trade, but he is going to lose his life. That's the Dawning Light actually zoning these members away. Born might actually be able to win this one. Both teams just disengage. Again, RSG with a better trade.
Yeah, Born is doing a very good job of buying a lot of time there. RSGPH making good use of that heavy spin to make sure that Gary isn't able to be in range for that retribution. As we look now, the emblems are up on the screen. Nothing too unusual for either side, but we can see that Aqua is going for Magic Worship for more of that late game burst, perhaps to match up and to take advantage of the fact that Orange Esports does have several squishier heroes in the late game.
Yeah, you really want that kill pressure, right? When you're on this Kagura up against a team like Orange Esports, the draft that they have, they just don't want Man to have that reaction time, or just the time in general, to pop that Black Shoes. If you can just initiate on him, lock him down, burst him, it's going to be really good. But here you go, Light going for the bloody hunt.
Yeah, and already Min has just been melted down to the ground. The hook comes through by Light, but doesn't connect onto Valence. And Miracle, you are absolutely right. They have so much CC on the side of RSGPH to be able to buy that time as well and set up for all these burst damage in team fights. Light, look at him just again and again throwing out these hooks. Even if they don't catch, it zones out so much space for the team.
What we do still have to be careful of, though, is that this Atlas, even if he is dying a lot here in the early game, all you need in the late game is that one big fatal Lynx. In terms of items right now, we can see that the cores on either side are already completing their first items. Nothing too unusual being built by either of these teams.
Yeah, the damage though as well. Nats just, he's going for that DHS, just cheeky damage in the early stage of the game, as they will just have full control of the turtle side here. They're going to just go for it, and again, Orange Esports is trying to respond with a trade onto that bottom side, but RSG, they're too aware. In the mid lane as well, Born taking low, Yin Yang overturn, bursts him down, and that's what the Magic Worship is for.
Yeah, on the bottom side, Orange Esports, they were trying so hard to get something, a consolation prize, but here the fatal Lynx, they find it in the name of Iman, and Light is 1 hit away. Man secures the kill as well, knocked that up to 2 on the side of RSGPH, but they want some revenge. They're finding Man here on the bottom side. Will they have the damage? Demon Kite manages to seal the deal.
That's just unfortunate there for Orange Esports, but they are actually able to trade reasonably well despite being 3k behind in terms of net worth. Again, you do have to give a lot of respect to that fatal Lynx, but now Nats is the one being targeted.
Yeah, Nats, he's in a 1v3 situation, but that's RSG coming in for the backup. Nats still surviving, and it is going to be another 2-for-0 trade. Orange, they traded for a turret up top, but RSG, they're controlling this mid side so well, and they're playing their weak side lanes also just incredibly well.
Even though you said that Aqua was forced into this Kagura, it doesn't seem like it at all. That burst damage coming from the Yin Yang overturn just basically turns around the team fight entirely. And now, RSGPH, they've stripped so much control of the map, the top and the mid and the bottom side as well. All 3 lanes. It's starting to look really tough for Orange Esports.
Yeah, definitely, but we do have to recognize that in the early game, Orange Esports knows that they're probably not going to win out. And if they do, it is just really good for them. Right now, they're not exactly in a guaranteed loss. They are 5k behind, yes, but that is a deficit that can be made up, especially when you consider that they do scale pretty well into the late game with all 3 of these mages. What I am mainly worried about is with most of their damage being magical, it's very easy for RSGPH to itemize against it.
Oh, at this point, right, 6,000 gold lead, and again, Lights. This is the Franco that you need to be scared of, that you need to respect. The thing is, it's just really hard with the positioning and the instinctive plays that he makes on the map. It's so easy for him to land these hooks. Again, I can't even hit a minion on Franco.
That's why it's Light playing in Miracle. That's
Yeah,
why
that's why it's not
is.
me.
And right now, Orange Esports, they try to go in for the steal with the Dawning Light, but still, Demon Kite too fast on that Retribution manages to secure the objective. So Orange Esports, they're gonna start facing a Lord coming down one of the lanes, even though they have the that huge shot from the Renner, but even though they have the latest scaling,
Because right now, as we return to the game, RNG Sports not in the best shape.
Yeah, resuming back, RSG Philippines still with the initiative. 7,000 gold lead, Light!
Ooh.
Woo! Almost just gets Born, but Purify was ready for Born, so he will still be able to get out. But with this Lord now currently marching down that top side, they are playing this really well, actually. That wave manipulation onto the bottom, but Light might get punished here. Dawning Light.
oh,
No.
it comes through, almost gets Light there, but just really a little bit of health left. Manages to get out though. I was gonna say you purify one hook, but Light has so many others coming your way. But I think that just a little bit overextension on the side of RSGPH. And right now, Gary taking so much damage, has to back out. Min as well. The Lord goes down. They're unable to clear this top inhibited turret for this moment.
A good defense by Orange Esports, but you can definitely see that they're being pushed to their last legs. An 8,000 net worth lead for RSGPH already. And you definitely don't want to be in this situation where you're just stuck in your base waiting for farm to come to you, because that's just going to accelerate RSG Philippines farm even further, especially when you consider Orange. They don't out of control, but the game now returns. We can see whether or not Orange Esports can overcome these odds.
Yeah, we're gonna see RSG taking their positions right at the purple buff here of Orange Esports, so denying even more farm from them at this stage of the game. Now we're 11.5 minutes in here. RSGPH, they have a 9k gold lead, but as we said, Orange Esports, what are their odds now with this late game composition?
In the late game, Orange does do well because the Esmeralda, Xavier, and also Lilia. But when we're taking a look at RSG Philippines as well, look at the damage dealt, right? Nats, Iman, we see the players are having fun, you know, in their base. They're kind of locked down there right now because of the minions that are just not being pushed in by RSG Philippines. And this is what they do. They just suffocate their opponents when they have that lead. And speaking of that late game issue, RSG Philippines, I believe that even if we go to the late game, Orange has a slight advantage, but it's pretty much even.
Yeah, they're already in a rough spot because what can you do? They can't push out a phase, they can't get any farm, because you can see how well RSG Philippines are controlling the wave specifically to try and slow down Orange's farm as much as possible. They're actually grouping up the minion waves so that they will delay Orange Esports from taking this Lord, giving it over for... Ooh, that was close.
That was super close. I mean, that's why you have a Xavier on your team. You use that to steal objective, but thankfully there is Iman on the team as well. And speaking of Iman, you know, having a marksman on your team just really helps with the scaling. So even though Orange Esports has Valence and Iman, how do you think this is going to work out for them? Going back to that double mage composition.
Well, it's going to be quite difficult because, yes, while some of these mages scale up very well, we know that Esmeralda, Xavier, Lilia all do a lot of damage in the late game. It's hard to compete with the consistent DPS that something like a Beatrix will be able to do, especially once Eman gets that full item build. But now the Lord crashing up topside.
Yeah, the topside turret taken very low. Going to be taken down there as RSG look to convert on more objectives. Bottom side and mid lane pushing at a very good time here as Nats will be going forward again. And Mon does not miss. Light gets a hook over onto Min. He's going to get taken down. That's going to be the heavy spin coming as well towards Born, pinning him down for the kill for RSG. Iman looking for snipes again onto the turret. Will be able to take it down. Looking for one more into that mid lane. They're just stripping down the base at this point, and Iman, he's not getting any space.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was in the back line. He took so much damage there from Valence, but RSGPH still able to make it work.
Yeah, but now that they've made it work, it's going to be difficult for Orange to do the same. Their base is completely empty. Looking at the item build so far, while Valence is actually able to farm up quite a lot of items here. He's one item away from completing his build. Eman has already finished his. Aqua in a very similar situation as comparison. The rest of Orange Esports definitely having a tough time getting their farm. And then we have now reached the point in the game where normally when you're a Franco, you don't want to hook Atlas because that is a free flicker for the Fatal Links. But they do so much damage that Min literally cannot survive it.
Oh, just that first damage coming in, but the Fatal Links in response, they managed to get Aqua as well as Iman. It is a 3-4-2 trade at this moment, but it's a massacre between the two teams. RSGPH still have 3 people standing though. Gary, even though he's clocked up all those kills, he is left alone to defend this, and I don't think he can do anything as the three members of RSGPH, they march in to the core. They want to end this. Gary shuts down Navs. There's just one Demon Kind and Light left, and he actually makes the defense. The minions, they're helping him too much. A heavy spin comes in onto Gary, and they shut him down, but they are far too low. Demon Kind, he tries to end it. He does in the process. He manages to make Orange Esports.
Not even close, baby! Orange Esports, they do it. They defend the base literally with just 1 HP there left, as they will now have to clear out all the lanes. They can technically use this moment to go over to the Lord. I think they have to at this point, right? Demon Kai spawning in 20 seconds. They just need to make a desperate play, because if they go and just tower defense again, it's not gonna happen a second time.
MLBB fans, I have literally never seen this before in my ML career. Let's have a look at that instant replay again, because as we can see, this is a 1v3 situation, and RSG Philippines are just trying to take down the Crystal. They think we can just outnumber Orange Esports and take this down, not realizing Gary actually has a bit of damage. Because of that, both Light and Demon Kite have to back it off, but Man comes back just in time. Honestly, if Light had just stayed there, they would have ended the game.
One hit was all they needed to end the game here, but Orange Esports looking for the play. It's going to be Aqua just zoning Gary out. The Dark Knight falls, Gary gets out, and they're actually able to pull back. That's now going in onto Min with Aqua there. Dawning Light connects on the Demon Kite, but it is going to be Min taken down. Demon Kite getting the Lord as well. 2 for 0, RSG. They're looking for the end now. Valence trying to do what he can. Iman is looking for the call. Lights! He goes in for the hook. He gets the prio target. Valence is down. Gary is next, and RSG with a double kill onto Iman will take game 1.
Oh my goodness, RSGPH that failed siege there felt like it just fueled their